Hello, everyone, and welcome to V5, where we spend exactly 5 minutes getting on our soapbox on topics in B2B sales, specifically the sales engineer function. I have the pleasure of being joined today by Tom Josephson, who's the Director of Solution Consulting at TCP Software. And his hot take, ready for this, is demos don't matter, discovery matters. So, Tom, I'm going to start the timer for 5 minutes. And with that, get on your soapbox, take us away.
For me, I value discovery above all else. And I've heard this said before, if you come out of discovery and you've been perceived as doing the better discovery compared to your competitors, you're at a competitive advantage. I always tell this story of the last deal that I ever lost. And I remember what they told me. They came out of this and they said, look, Tom, you clearly understood our business better than any vendor. You won the process. You took the time, you asked us questions, and you really got deep into it. But this other vendor really undercut you on price, and we had to go with it. I was like, that's not a great consolation prize, but I always think back to that. And I think back to the last deal I won before I got into management and leadership. And I remember that one, it was a long enterprise deal. It took 1.5 years before we finally closed it. And this was during the pandemic. And what we would do is we were meeting with several different groups, several different divisions of their business. We developed a relationship where I would do discovery with their team and with the global CIO and say, okay, here are the things that I'm thinking to hit these specific needs. Does that align? And I consider that a part of discovery because that wasn't the traditional demo. That was me learning about their business, how we can connect our solutions to them. The other thing that I always love to say about discovery, and I think this really proves out, is discovery is where you're really selling them on the capabilities. And, they say, hey, we need it to do X, or our solution or what we do today doesn't do Y. I talk to SCs, when you hear something like that, we can absolutely do that. I'll show you in the demo. And it does two things. A, it puts them at ease. They're like, oh, okay. They know what I'm talking about. And B, it gets them really excited for the demo. And it gets to that point that I always tell them, which is discovery is where you win and discovery is where you show the value. The demo is just the proof point. I've already set up in the discovery. Yeah, we can do that. What I also like to tell SCs is if you have those points, they're so powerful. When you get to that demo, hey, you remember when we were talking last week and you said you really needed and wanted X, Y, and Z? I'm about to show you that right now. And it's a great trigger for people's brains to be like, oh, now I have to pay attention.
Well, Tom, what would you say to folks who say, well, wait a minute, most buyers, and you do any kind of survey, say, I want to see a demo on the first date. I want to see the product. I've done my research. I'm 70% through the buyer's journey. I just want to see what you can do. How do you kind of live in the world where you reconcile what you want to see done requires discovery? How do you marry those two worlds of what the buyer needs and what you need to get done?
Yeah, you'll be shocked. They always ask that. What I tell the SCs, and there's a couple different ways to do this. If you think they're getting really excited about it, have that teed up. I even begin the conversation, discovery. There's a couple things I always like to say. Yeah, I can show you a demo, but if I were to show you everything, because everybody wants to see everything, that'll take me 4 or 5 hours. Instead, there's a lot of cool things that we do. I want to hone in only on the things that actually matter to you. And that's the purpose of this discovery. And it could very well be at the end of this discovery, we're not a good fit. I don't want to waste your time with another hour and a half call. And people love that. It's consultative. It's listening. It's being really receptive to what their needs are going to be. And then the other thing is we have demo automation tools, but we also, if we're seeing an opportunity where they're getting really, really excited, we'll pop in and show that. In this case, we use Story Lane. We'll show them that and like, hey, here's what that looks like. At the end of the discovery, they can play with it. And again, it's another tool to get them excited. But the most important thing, when I evaluate discoveries, when we certify people internally on discoveries, the first line it says is, did you sell the value of the discovery? Did you get their buy-in that, hey, this call is important for you? This is for us to learn about you. All the other calls we had before them were qualification calls. That's for us. Is this a good use of our time? Are they going to actually buy? The discovery is for them. And once you have that buy-in, you lock them in, you don't have to worry about, oh, I thought we're going to see a demo today. You're wasting my time without showing me the software.
Love it. Love it. That's been 5 minutes. That's been the soapbox. I know we could talk about this for a long time. And big shout out to Storylane. I think there's a ton of value in being able to continue the conversation when you're not around and actually see engagement with that as another signal. Thank you for sharing your soapbox with us. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So if you like watching and you like listening, and this is a topic that resonated with you and you want to hear Tom talk more about the power of discovery, DM me on LinkedIn. Let me know. We could extend this V5 to a V15, dare I say a V30 one day. So let me know in the comments, in the chat, DM me to let me know, and we will see you next time. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon. You're listening to The Unexpected Lever. For additional resources, check out Vivint.com. Got a soapbox you'd like us to talk about longer? Let us know by messaging me, Jarod Greene, on LinkedIn.